Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business English Podcast. I'm Tom.
And I'm Mary. We are excited to help you level up your business English skills.
That's right. So let's dive right in. For today's topic, we're tackling something that's probably on a lot of people's minds, especially if you're thinking about your future career or maybe even a side hustle.
Exactly. And to get us started, here's a question for you, our listeners. Have you ever thought about starting your own online business, but you just weren't sure where to even begin when it comes to ideas?
It's a big question, isn't it? Coming up with that perfect online business idea can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. But it's actually a really crucial first step.
Absolutely, because having a solid idea is the foundation for everything else. Without a good idea, it's tough to build a successful business, right?
Precisely. And in today's digital world, online businesses are booming. They offer so much flexibility and opportunity, but where do you even start generating those winning ideas?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Our topic for this podcast is how to generate the best online business ideas.
That's right. In this episode, we're going to break down some really practical strategies that you can use to come up with great online business ideas. Whether you're just starting out or looking to pivot, this episode is for you.
And by the end of this podcast, you'll have a clearer understanding of how to brainstorm, evaluate, and really pinpoint those ideas that have potential. We're aiming to make this process less daunting and more, achievable.
Exactly. So here's what we've got planned for you today. First, we'll really get into the nitty-gritty of generating ideas. Then, we'll move on to some practical tips you can implement right away. And of course, we'll have 2 English lesson segments to boost your business vocabulary along the way.
And remember, learning isn't just about listening, it's about doing. So after listening to this, we really want to hear from you. What kind of online business ideas are you interested in? Share them in the comments section below.
Yes, please do. Let's make this a collaborative learning experience. We can all learn from each other's ideas and perspectives.
Definitely. So let's get started and unlock your entrepreneurial potential together. And if you're finding this helpful so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more business English goodness.
All right, let's jump right into generating those brilliant online business ideas.
Okay, so let's get down to business, literally. In this section, we're going to explore how to actually generate great online business ideas. We'll talk about brainstorming techniques, understanding market needs, and finding your niche.
Sounds good. So first off, generating ideas. It can feel overwhelming, right? Like, where do you even begin? My initial thought is always to start with what you know and what you're passionate about.
That's a great starting point, because when you're passionate about something, you're more likely to put in the effort and stay motivated, especially when things get tough,
Totally. And think about your skills, too. What are you good at? What do people ask you for help with? These can be clues to potential business ideas. For example, if you're a whiz at social media, maybe you could offer social media management services.
Exactly. And it's not just about your skills. Think about problems. What problems do you see around you, in your own life, or in the lives of others? Every successful business solves a problem, right?
That's so true. And online businesses are particularly good at solving problems in convenient ways. Think about online grocery delivery, for example. It solves the problem of time-strapped people needing groceries.
Right, so problem solving is key. And then there's market research. Don't just assume your idea is great. Actually do some digging, see if there's a demand for it. Are other people already doing something similar?
Market research is crucial. Look at trends. What's becoming popular online? What are people searching for? Tools like Google Trends can be really helpful for this.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to look at what your competitors are doing. Not to copy them, but to see what works, what doesn't, and where there might be gaps in the market.
Gaps in the market. That's a good point. Think about niches. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, can you focus on a specific niche? A smaller, more specialized market can be easier to dominate.
Niche down, as they say. For example, instead of just online clothing store, maybe it's online store for sustainable and ethically made yoga wear. That's much more specific.
Exactly. And when you're brainstorming, don't censor yourself at first. Just let the ideas flow. Write everything down, even if it sounds silly at first. You can always filter and refine later.
Brainstorming is a numbers game in the beginning. The more ideas you generate, the higher the chance you'll stumble upon a really good one. Think quantity over quality initially.
And don't be afraid to combine ideas. Sometimes the best ideas are born from merging 2 seemingly unrelated concepts. Think dog walking app. It combines pet care with technology.
That's a great example. And remember to get feedback. Talk to people about your ideas. See what they think. Are they excited? Do they see a need for it?
Feedback is invaluable. It can help you validate your ideas and also spot potential weaknesses you might have missed. Just be open to constructive criticism,
Definitely. And finally, don't get discouraged if your first few ideas aren't winners. Generating good business ideas is a skill that improves with practice. Keep brainstorming, keep researching, and keep learning.
Exactly. It's a process. And with a systematic approach, you can definitely increase your chances of finding that winning online business idea. So, let's move on to our first English lesson and pick up some useful vocabulary related to this topic.
All right, so in this English Lesson 1 segment, we're going to unpack some useful vocabulary and phrases from our discussion about generating online business ideas. We've picked out 5 key terms for you.
Perfect. First up, we have brainstorm. Brainstorm is a verb, and it means to generate a lot of ideas in a group discussion. It's all about coming up with as many ideas as possible, without judging them at first.
That's right. For example, let's brainstorm some online business ideas for eco-conscious consumers. So it's a really common and useful word in business.
Definitely. Next, we have niche. Niche is a noun, and it refers to a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. It's like finding a specific area to focus on.
Exactly. For example, she decided to focus on a niche market, handmade jewelry for pet owners. So finding your niche can really help you stand out.
Our third word is market research. Market research is a noun phrase, and it's the process of gathering information about consumers' needs and preferences. It helps you understand your potential customers.
Like, before launching the product, they conducted thorough market research to ensure there was demand. It's a vital step for any business.
Moving on, we have gap in the market. This is also a noun phrase, and it refers to an opportunity to provide a product or service that is not yet being offered. Finding a gap is like finding an unmet need.
Precisely. For example, he identified a gap in the market for vegan meal delivery services in his city. Spotting these gaps can lead to great business opportunities.
And finally, for this lesson, we have validate. Validate is a verb, and in a business context, it means to confirm or prove that your business idea is sound and has potential. It's about checking if your idea is worth pursuing.
Right, for example, they needed to validate their business model before seeking investment. Validation is key to reducing risk.
So those are our 5 vocabulary words for English Lesson 1. Brainstorm, niche, market research, gap in the market, and validate. Make sure to try using these words yourself when you're talking about business ideas.
Yes, practice makes perfect. And now let's move on to the practical tips section, where we'll give you some actionable advice on how to actually put these idea generation techniques into practice.
Okay, so now that we've talked about the theory behind generating ideas, let's get practical. In this section, we're going to give you some actionable tips that you can actually use right now to start generating your own online business ideas.
Sounds great. First tip, start with your own problems. Think about your daily frustrations, things that annoy you, or tasks that are inefficient. Chances are, if you're experiencing these problems, other people are too.
That's a really good point. Your own experiences are a goldmine of potential business ideas. For example, maybe you find it hard to organize your online files. That could spark an idea for a better file management system.
Exactly. And tip number 2, tap into your passions and hobbies. What do you love doing in your free time? Is there a way to turn that passion into an online business? People are often willing to pay for expertise and products related to hobbies.
Totally. If you're passionate about photography, maybe you could sell online photography courses or prints. Turning a hobby into a business can be incredibly rewarding because you're doing what you love.
Tip number 3, keep an eye on trends. Stay updated on what's popular online, what are people talking about, what are the emerging markets. Trends can point you towards areas with high demand.
Following trends is essential. Think about the rise of remote work. That trend created huge opportunities for online collaboration tools and home office equipment businesses. Being aware of trends helps you be ahead of the curve.
And tip number 4, network and talk to people. Don't keep your ideas locked up in your head. Discuss them with friends, family, and even strangers. Get different perspectives and feedback.
Networking is so important. You never know where your next great idea will come from. Conversations can spark new thoughts and help you refine your existing ideas. Plus, you might meet potential collaborators.
And our final practical tip for this section: start small and iterate. Don't try to build a huge, complex business from day one. Start with a simple version of your idea, test it, get feedback, and then improve it based on what you learn.
Iteration is key. Think of it like a prototype. Launch a basic version, see what works, what doesn't, and then keep making it better. Many successful online businesses started with very simple beginnings and evolved over time.
Exactly. So, to recap our practical tips: start with your own problems, tap into your passions, keep an eye on trends, network, and start small and iterate. These are all actionable steps you can take to start generating and developing your online business ideas.
And now, let's move on to our second English lesson, where we'll focus on vocabulary and phrases from these practical tips.
Welcome back to English Lesson 2. In this segment, we're going to focus on 5 more useful English words and phrases that came up in our practical tips section.
Great. First up, we have actionable. Actionable is an adjective, and it describes advice or steps that are practical and you can actually do something with. It's about being able to take action.
Yes, for example, we aim to provide actionable advice that you can implement immediately. So, actionable tips are really useful because you can put them into practice.
Next, we have tap into. Tap into is a phrasal verb, and it means to make use of a resource or opportunity that is already available. It's like accessing something that's already there.
Exactly, like she decided to tap into her passion for baking and start an online bakery. Tapping into your passions is a great way to find business ideas.
Our third term is trend. Trend is a noun, and it refers to a general direction in which something is developing or changing. It's about what's currently popular or gaining popularity.
Right, for example, the trend towards online learning is creating many business opportunities. Understanding trends is crucial for spotting potential markets.
Moving on, we have network. Network can be both a noun and a verb. As a verb, it means to connect with people who can be helpful to you professionally. It's about building relationships.
Precisely, like, it's important to network with other entrepreneurs to exchange ideas and support. Networking can open doors to new opportunities.
And finally, for this lesson, we have iterate. Iterate is a verb, and it means to repeat a process with the aim of improvement. It's about refining something through repeated cycles.
Yes, for example, they decided to iterate on their initial product design based on user feedback. Iteration is key to continuous improvement and success.
So, those are our 5 vocabulary words for English Lesson 2. Actionable, tap into, trend, network, and iterate. Again, try to incorporate these words into your business English conversations.
Absolutely. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become. And now, let's wrap things up with our closing segment.
All right. We've reached the end of today's Business English podcast episode on how to generate the best online business ideas. Let's quickly summarize what we covered.
Sure thing. Today we talked about various strategies for generating ideas, starting with brainstorming and understanding your passions and skills. We emphasized the importance of market research and finding your niche.
We also highlighted the importance of looking for problems to solve and keeping an eye on current trends. And we shared practical tips like starting with your own problems, networking, and iterating on your ideas.
And in our English lessons, we learned 10 useful business English vocabulary words and phrases, including brainstorm, niche, market research, gap in the market, validate, actionable, tap into, trend, network, and iterate.
Hopefully this episode has given you some valuable insights and practical steps to start generating your own online business ideas. Remember, the key is to start, experiment, and keep learning.
Exactly. And we really want to encourage you to take action. Start brainstorming, explore your passions, and look for opportunities around you. The online world is full of possibilities.
We truly hope this podcast has been helpful for you, not just in improving your business English, but also in inspiring you to explore your entrepreneurial side.
Yes, we want you to feel empowered to come up with your own amazing online business ideas. And don't forget to share your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for listening to the Business English Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and subscribe for more valuable business English content.
We're here to support you on your business English journey. Let's learn and grow together. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. And good luck with generating those brilliant business ideas.